Hey, Shalom Israel. First, we want to give all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Everyone see Apostle Usgray Millstone. Peace I take you to one third of Israel and the brother Tazapanya.
Yeshaya.
And we're the young bros from the GMS AZ camp. And for this lesson, I came across this post. All right, shit wicked as hell. But it says, I was texting her even though she had a fiance. All right, and it says, this dude, Max Holloway. So here's the context. She was engaged while leaving me on red for 5 years. Lol. So if anything, I'm an ass that kept reaching out. I live by a code. Though if you have a boyfriend and you can't defend your honor, you have a girlfriend. Ha ha ha. I mean, that shit not funny. But it says, two, she was a professional surfer and actually really good at it. She has her own money. Get the full story before just watching clickbaits and edited parts. All right, and really, he trying to justify wickedness. You know, you talking about, I bugged that ass nigga. Anywho, it's a lot. What's wrong with you? Oh. But Salaki, this is a bug out in front of us. But it says, this nigga said, so if anything, I'm an ass that kept reaching out. I live by a code. Alright. There's a comment I seen. But it said, there you go. It says, honor texting married woman. And that just goes to show you how stupid these niggas are. You know? They be talking about honor and code. The real honor and code is living through the scriptures. You know? Living by the means of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because, you know, scripture says in Proverbs 6, let's get that right quick. Jealousy is a rage of a man.
I'm going, man.
Spirit. Go ahead.
I'm going to start at 32, though. It says, Proverbs 6 and 32 says, but whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroy his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. And like the brother was just mentioning, honor. That's a dishonorable thing. And you know, at the end of the day, too, you know, the Lord has to restore judgment for those that do these type of things. You know, the job of the men of the Lord is to teach you, you know, what's, you know, out of the volume of the book, what's right and what's wrong by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And niggas like that, man, they're not going to get away scot-free, you know, doing the things that they do. You know, everybody likes to talk about honor and dishonor and this and that here in this world. But at the end of the day, they have no portion, you know, to speak about anything. You know, they don't have no authority to say anything about what's right and what's wrong. These people are all dead from the neck up. That's why I said, you know, it said, but whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. You know, you ain't no better than a woman if you a man that's committing adultery, you know, with another man's woman. Because the scriptures talk about how the Lord imparted not unto the woman understanding. You know, you on the same level as that bitch. Because you two idiots are just over here doing whatever the hell your flesh wants you to do. You know, it says, and he that doeth it destroy his own soul. You know, so because, you know, and adultery is super bad too. You know, for another reason, it's an idol worship. You know, back in the day, you know, adultery was a part of a ceremonial ritual to sacrifice unto idols, man. You know, those orgies and all the things that these people do. Babylon the Great is a land of idolatry, man. And a lot of things that people do here, without recognizing it, they're just sacrificing to some idol that Esau Edom influences. Why do you think they make, you know, rap culture and niggas speak about constantly doing, you know, each other's women? Why do you think they pass around these industry girls from rapper to rapper, you know, baby mama to the next man, you know, repeatedly? You know, they're pushing the NWO, and that's not a part of it, man. You know, and that's a minute part of it, but you know, it physically damages, you know, people's souls. It mentally corrupts, you know, even the youth. You got little niggas that's like balls haven't even dropped talking about it. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, little niggas. Oh, Salaki.
You know, and Salaki for the vulgarity, but you know, this is a disgusting topic. Like, it genuinely is just, it makes you really want to, like, you know, smack the shit out of that guy. But verse 34 says, for jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. You got it.
Yeah, he said if your boyfriend can't fight, then that's a girlfriend. Well, you don't gotta fight, you know, because niggas in the world, they'll just shoot you.
Facts.
Just because you're a UFC fighter does not make you untouchable, bro. And that's the thing, you know. The pride of these people has reached to an astronomical point.
PNB Rock.
Exactly. You know, that nigga PNB. You know, nigga wicked as hell. Some dope ass music though, but that nigga wicked as hell, and he thought he was untouchable. Boom, his ass got PNB pop. So, but I got a quick precept. This is 1 Corinthians.
It's like and one thing too, PNB always had in his songs is adultery, man.
Fucking
Adultery,
wicked,
slinging guns. You know, that typical, you know, Babylonian, you know, Negroid. You know, he pushing that same BS that everybody else is, man.
That's why scriptures say, "Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap."
Yeah.
Because you out here rapping about niggatry. Damn, claim it's a lot. But you out here rapping about niggatry, and you know just being a degenerate. Well, guess what? You gon' reap those you gonna reap those fruits,
Right,
those corrupt fruits.
No man has license to sin.
Exactly.
You know, you don't have license to sin and say crazy shit just because you're a rapper.
Exactly.
Just because you're a politician, just because you're a UFC fighter. These people have thought that these people in this world think that they have authority because of the worldly positions that they've been putting in. They've been put in these worldly positions because Satan loves them that much more. The Lord has set up his meek and lowly people great in faith. You know, and brothers is working 9 to 5. Brothers is janitors. You know, like just really just, you know, getting by. But these people in the world, you know, because they have a platform, they think that they have the ability to say what's honorable, what's right. Look at Kanye. The Lord smacked the shit out of him. He has no business speaking about the truth. He has no business speaking about what's right and what's wrong. He has no business trying to prophesy these words because that's not their company. Satan loves them a lot. You know, and that's why they're in the positions that they're in, man. But the Lord loves us a lot, and that's why we're in the position that we're in. Our victory is going to come afterwards, and all these idiots are going to get the judgment that's coming for them for the things that they're doing here in this life, man.
Before honor is humility. Right now we're going through our humiliation ritual, just like how on the right hand side, by the way, not like these whack ass niggas
Carrying
in the
our
world.
cross.
Exactly, because how shy he was humiliated when he
Right.
came, but guess what? When he comes back, he's gonna be glorified. All right, and he's coming bringing vengeance. All right, upon these wicked ass people out here. All right, because the thing is, people think that, you know, the Lord, he's not real because judgment hasn't hit them yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand that the Lord, he's long suffering.
That's right.
Like he gonna let you rack up your tab, and he gonna right hook the fuck out you. But this is Ecclesiastes 8:11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So they think like, okay, maybe I got away with it this time. Shit, who gonna stop me? All right. You read that in Sirach. It says, an evil man said, "Who seeth me?" You know, but they don't understand that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Like the Lord knows you to the T. You know.
Yeah, look at the sun at noon. You know, there's what is that? A place in Hawaii?
No shadows.
There's no shadows.
Exactly.
You know, the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. The Lord sees through your ass, man.
Exactly.
You finish on that one?
I got 2 more verses. It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before Him. And that's ultimately part of the patience. You know, you read in Revelation, I believe it was 13 and 9. It says, "Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." You know, it's the word patience goes into suffering. You know, it's suffering to see these people prosper. You know, see like no judgment really hit them right then and there. All right, all the wickedness that goes on here, and you gotta suffer it. You know, that's a part of it. It's part of the walk. All right, but guess what? The Lord, he's about to get these motherfuckers, bro.
Right. Scripture say, you know, suffer not how the wicked shall be
punished,
but whether more how the righteous shall be saved.
Yeah, inquire how the righteous shall be saved. Exactly. Because really, what the Lord's about to do is gonna be, it's gonna far surpass what He did in ancient Egypt. So those are the times we're living in. You know, Jacob's trouble is a time like never before. You know, think about all the bad shit that happened in times past. We about to enter into some worse shit to where Michael the Archangel got to step up. Like, and don't think that these people in the world, they're gonna win. These niggas gonna die. All right, but let me read this, and I got another precept, and then I'll hand it off to you, Salah. But this is 13th verse. But it shall be But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feared not before the Most High. All right? So, that goes just backs up the point that the Lord is long-suffering. But this is 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And we in Babylon right now, the city of confusion. That's literally all this kingdom produces and promotes, is being a degenerate. And there's a reward to being a degenerate, and that's death. Reading on down, it says, in such were some of you, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified, but ye are justified in the name of the Lord Yahushua, and by the Spirit of our power of the Most High. All right, so by the Spirit of our power. All right, and we used to be niggas in the world, but the Lord, He woke us out of that niggatry, and now we put on that new creature, which is in Yahushua Mashiach. So now, shit like this, it irks you. In the world, you didn't have no problem with it, but now you start to see the fruits of it, and you realize that's just wicked, But that's it.
I got a Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 11. It says, for our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing. And I'm also going to grab another precept real quick. I believe it's Proverbs 25 and 11. Real quick. This is I'm gonna just paraphrase it. It says, justice is good unto the righteous, and unto the wicked it is grievous or terrible. So ultimately, at the end of the day, the strength of let our strength be the law of justice. That which is feeble is found to be nothing. We on a lowest stead right now. We saying that they're doing things wrong. We're prophesying against what it is that they do in their actions. Where Babylon the Great is uplifting them, man. And we say that to admonish, brothers and sisters, man, to continue on the good fight of faith, because we will be rewarded for this at the end of the day, man. This adulterous, disgusting, idolatry, wicked society is going to be brought down. It says, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offering the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education, man. We go against everything this system says, man. These people in the world talk about adultery. This guy's out here acting like he's cool. He's he's saying ha in his post. There's nothing funny about that, and it's real soon that they're gonna discover how unfunny that shit is. There's real soon they're gonna see that the Lord is gonna come about them in a way that's gonna be horrendous. Because Isaiah, I believe it's the 56th or 54th chapter, the Lord will bring your greatest fears upon you. A man like that feel like he can't be touched, and the rest of these niggas, man, because that's really, there's a level of pride a man has to have to think that he could just go around committing adultery. That's a real proud spirit. Sin ties to sin, man. It's interlinked in a lot of different ways that a fleshly man can't really understand. But these niggas out here committing adultery, man, they really racking up a tab for pride, idolatry, adultery, uncleanness, inordinate affection. They racking up a fucking tab, and they not even seeing it. The Lord ain't, you might have committed that, but then you might have transgressed this, and that at the same time. The Lord's going to hold you accountable for all of those things that you did. That's why what that brother just read in 1 Corinthians 6, the 6th chapter, that's why I listed so many things, because these things are interlocked in a way.
Facts.
And the Lord's going to hold these people accountable, and the Lord's going to bring their greatest fears upon them. All right? A lot of these men out here, they're going to be turning into Susies, man. If you know what a Susie is, a lot of these men out here that's thinking that they Mr. Bravado and shit, they're going to be brought the hell down.
Hell yeah.
And these proud-ass women, too, they're going to get humbled in a way that they never expected. You seen the 3 Benjamites in Atlantic Cannon. Those crazy niggas is back, And really, if you don't have the Lord, if you don't have, your strength in the law of justice, you don't have your strength in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you're going to be as through as these people are, man.
Exactly.
Ourselves first and foremost.
Facts. Quick precept to back you up. This is Sirach 10 and 12. It says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. Reading on down, it says, "For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour abomination."
That's cold.
And why is that? Because you don't fear the Lord. You don't fear the repercussions of transgressing the law of the Lord. You think the Lord is not real. You know, you think the Lord ain't gonna do nothing to you. You think the Lord is just an all-loving power, you know, and, you know, he's coming back to, you know, that Christian bullshit. I hate these fucking Christians. They'd be like, JC loves you. Whole time this nigga done committed all types of fucking wickedness, but yet the Lord still loves you. Exactly.
Touching little boys talking about JC love you.
Exactly. But yet but let it come to, you know, a person in their family. You still gonna say that JC loves you? It's stupid.
It's true, bro.
But reading
hypocrisy. This is a land of hypocrisy, man.
Exactly. It says, "And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly." So ultimately, the Lord got a judgment for these niggas, bro.
That's right.
And don't think that these niggas gonna win. You know, it's because mind you, I heard bros say this, elders say this. You know, time the time right now is nothing in the Lord's sight. You know, Scripture says 1,000 years is one day to the Lord. So this is just a little bit. Like the Lord, he'll let you live a life long, or Salakia, he'll let you live a life full of wickedness, and then maybe like 3 generations down the line, he gonna make you pay for it. That's the Lord's judgment, you know. But you know, that's it. The Lord, you know, that's how the Lord works. You know, we don't, the Lord, Salakia. I'm trying to gather my words, but you know what I'm trying to say. I wanna make sure.
Well, just going to the 1,000 years, like, you know, time passes differently.
Yeah, exactly.
It just, you know, it's two different realms. So the Lord's judgment, when he exercises that judgment, there's a council in heaven. You know, there's all things that are thought about. The Lord knows everything, and he's going to deliver that in the due time that he sees. Because sometimes he doesn't even, you know, if everyone were held accountable for the things that they did here on this earth right now, everybody be dead.
Exactly.
The whole world just be dead.
Con.
So, you know, the Lord does it, you know, when he sees do fit. That's why it says in First Ezra's, the 5th chapter, that his judgment is likened unto a ring, which is a perfect circle. It comes around exactly when it's supposed to.
Exactly. The water. That's exactly what I want. Like, you took the words out of my mouth. You know, but right now, we in a generation of judgment. We in a time of judgment. That's you know, I was just using that as an example. But right now, these niggas don't have another 3-4 generations left. This place is finished. These niggas about to die, you know, soon.
That's why there's so many spirits here on this earth.
Exactly. So, you know, the water, of course. The water y'all about to outside. That you know, those all right, the point, you know, came across. It's locked in. But you have anything else?
That's it.
Con. So ultimately, these niggas in the world, they gonna lose. You know, these adulterers, they gonna die, because that's part of the law. And the Lord has, we just read in 1 Corinthians the 6th chapter, that, you know, they ain't gonna make it into the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
So yeah, I'll just end it here. But with that, lastly, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahshua, Ba'Shem Kakodash. Till next time, shalom.